Hello, happy Friday, everybody. Friday, we've not done anything on a Friday. I don't know if we've ever done a show on a Friday. This may be a first.
Well, yeah, I mean, when does it air? Does it air? Because I know we're doing it with the VOC thing. Or are we doing
It
it
does,
live?
but we're gonna just go live with this one, and then this will also be on the VOC Nation.
So we should tell everybody the
Yeah,
news.
yeah, yeah. So, well, first of all, welcome to the show. We're back. It's the Brisco and Big A show. I'm Ace. It's Wes Brisco right there hanging out with us. And yeah, it's been a few weeks, so we're glad to be back. Lots of stuff to talk about. First thing to talk about is, yeah, we've always been kind of part of VOC Nation. People might remember we were actually for a while live on Thursday nights on the actual website for them for a little while, and now they are the only place that you can find the actual audio downloads of the Briscoe and Big Ace podcast. So they've always been really cool, and we've always appreciated working with them. And now we're going to step it up and be an actual partner with them. And they've got a premium network, VOC Radio Nation Premium Network. So make sure you check it out and subscribe, and you're going to get some of all this cool content from all of the shows on the VOC Nation, as well as we're going to start doing some stuff with them, some more live exclusive stuff. There'll be some Q&As with a bunch of the talents. You may it's really cool. We're glad you've got Bill Apter, Shelly Martinez, Ken Resnick.
Yeah, well, not just that. Like, well, basically, too, is that with this new format that we're doing with the VOC Nation, you're going to have a lot more interaction with me and Big Ace. You're going to be able to there's going to be a lot more fan interaction with me and Big Ace. You're going to be able to, message us a little bit easier. We're going to have, special Q&As. We're going to do a bunch of different stuff. So we're really happy that, you know, we're going to step up our game with the VOC Nation and, they're going to be, pumping us up. And there's a lot of cool stuff coming. So I'm really looking forward to it because you're not just going to get the Briscoe and Big Ace show. You're going to get Q&As. You're going to get special stuff that not a lot of people are going to have access to when you do their premium package and their package deals. So definitely check out the VOC Nation.
Yeah, definitely. We're glad to be a part of that, and it's going to be fun going forward. Malice,
Yeah.
what's up, buddy?
What up, Mike?
Oh, excuse me, Malice. I will see you Saturday. I'm very, very excited.
Oh man, I wish I was
Sorry.
seeing you Saturday, buddy. I'll see you hopefully in July.
Yeah, July. Yeah, I'll see you a week from tomorrow, though, Malice. I'm very excited. I actually did a podcast last night with Zackies from Shotgun Radio, and we previewed this show that's going on for IPW next week that I'll be going to in Des Moines, Iowa. That our boy Malice is in a death match in.
Yeah,
Like,
talk to me.
crazy,
Talk to
man.
me about this show that's coming up.
Yeah, man. IPW 20th anniversary show. Our good friend Troy Peterson out there running Impact Pro Wrestling in Iowa, and one of the premier Midwest promotions around. So yeah, man, they're bringing everybody like. So I got in IPW around the time we met. Like that was how I got introduced to them. Was the Waterloo, the Hall of Fame. That's how I stumbled into IPW and Wes Brisco and everything. So I haven't been there long enough to know, but like they're bringing people from like the first show ever, like 20 years ago, are going to be there. They're bringing like tons of just IPW talent from over the last
Except for
20 years.
me, I was champ and I was tag team champs with my boy,
Mhm.
Malice. We were tag team champs. Why? This is crazy. They should have a reunion of us together.
That would be
Rocking it. We
amazing.
were the best tag team ever.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. I'm gonna go down there. We're gonna hang out and enjoy the show and get to see all our friends down there in the Iowa area and IPW. So
Yeah. So he's
I
in a
can't wait.
death match. Who's his opponent?
Malice, who's your opponent again? I forgot already from last night. I don't have the card in front of me. Dalton Cooper. Is that
And he's
right,
in a death
Malice?
match. Oh my goodness. I
I,
mean, Malice is not scared to no death match, but oof, those things can get a little hectic.
the most brutal chair shot I've ever seen in live pro wrestling was on Malice, like at the last one.
He is a tank. He is a
He's
warrior. That's why I
he
have him as a tag partner. He was the best tag team partner ever. He's the toughest son of a bitch you could ever meet, man. I love
yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. I also went to his show recently this last weekend in St. Paul, Minnesota, first wrestling show, which is a
Okay,
pretty big promotion up here.
how was that, and how was the crowd, and what was the atmosphere like?
So very limited tickets. It was in a synagogue, right? So it was in like a temple. So kind of an odd place, but it works. The room it was in was giant, but like
And the
I,
price sounds awesome too, because those rooms are meant to like for echoes, right?
yeah, it was cool, but like again, very limited up here in Minnesota on capacities right now. So it wasn't like really rowdy because everybody was spread out. So like, me and my nephew had seats, so like they literally had two seats with our names on them that were like by themselves, and it was like little just spots of chairs spread out for everybody that was there, and there was only like a limited amount of tickets. And it was great though. It was great to just see live wrestling. First Wrestling's a great promotion if you're not familiar with them. They're out of Minneapolis and they just do an amazing job. They bring some really great talent in. They bring some big names in. Sometimes they actually just got another show on sale that we're going to on June 10th up there. Boom Boom Cabana is coming to that
Oh,
one.
nice.
Yeah, and a couple other people of noticeable names are going to be on that show. So, yeah, they do a good job. I felt very safe though. Like they followed everything to a T protocol for us in Minnesota because we're not as wide open as you guys are down there in Florida or like in Iowa or anything right now. But like for us, what we could do, it was fun, and it was still fun because it was like an acoustic show, bro. You know what I mean? Like it
Yes.
was very intimate. Like you could talk to the wrestlers because they're just
So it's
right
kind of
there.
like a Japanese watching like a Japanese match.
Yeah, because I mean, you weren't getting. I mean, there was still some chants and cheering,
But
but it
that's
was just.
the same in Japan. You still get a little bit of
Mhm.
that, but overall, it's kind of quiet.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I'm excited to go to this next one in June. So it's just good to
Yeah,
be going to shows. You were just at a show as well.
yeah. I was just at a show. Yeah, it was really good. With the talent there was amazing, and the coolest thing for me, being at SWE, was getting to hang out with Boogeyman. I
The
haven't
Boogeyman.
really got to hang out. I mean, I've hung out with him a couple times, but this was like the first time that I actually like we went out and got dinner together, and like that's kind of a weird thing going to dinner with Boogeyman, right?
Yeah, yeah. Did he eat worms?
Yeah, he definitely ate worms that night.
So wait, does he bring them himself, or like do the promotions go out and buy all these worms for him because he's coming?
He brings them himself. I don't know like where he gets them and the about. I should have asked. It's weird. Like when I hang out with people, I don't ask anything about wrestling. We don't
Right.
ever,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean. So it's like I figured that's the last thing I would ever ask because it probably gets asked that 100 million times. So it's like, like I just don't ever. This didn't come up, but I don't know. That is a good question. I'm sure he's been asked it 100 times, but I don't
I
know.
always wonder that when I see him at like local shows. I'm like, man, does he just go buy like hundreds of worms, or like is it in
And does
his
he
like?
bring them through TSA pre-check or does he check them in the back? I'm guessing it. And two, like, well, I guess it doesn't matter when you're going state to state, but I know you can't go international because those things can mess up, the agriculture. So like, I don't. How is it going through the airport? Does some states not? I don't know. Like, does he ever get in trouble and be like, "Hey, what's up, dude?"
What's up, Dread Tyler? Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Like that would be the most awkward security check. Like we need to look your bag, sir. And it's just, why do you have a thing of like
Yeah,
500
and
worms?
then to ask him, "Why do you have it?"
You think he just eats one right there just to be like, this is why?
Probably because they're probably like, "Let me see." And he's like,
Like, didn't isn't it? Isn't I? Sorry, I've heard this. This is and it's true, but I guess maybe I'm not sure. But like, didn't he end up having like intense, or like inner issues with his like digestive and all that because of eating so many worms?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question,
Hmm.
but
I
um,
thought I
I
heard that was the
I would
deal.
think so because I don't think your body's meant to digest stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I think, and I don't think worms are necessarily the cleanest and healthiest. I mean, I guess in a dire situation, that's what you're supposed to do. But
But like
I don't know.
handfuls at a
I
time.
think I would go fishing before I would eat worms.
Oh God, I couldn't even. I couldn't
I
even.
would
Every
dig
time,
up. I would dig up the worms, figure out a hook, and then put that in the water, catch me a fish with that worm, and then eat that fish.
right? Yeah, dude. Every time I'd see him on TV and he'd do the old gimmick of throwing the worms in someone's face. It's,
Yeah,
what's
what's up,
up,
Freddie?
brother?
Yeah,
Uh,
happy Friday to you, buddy.
yeah, brother. Every time I saw that, man, every time I'd just be like, man, I don't know if they could pay me enough for that, bro. Like, ugh, I don't want
And
worms in my
didn't
mouth.
he put it in his opponent's mouth too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You'd shove them in their mouths. What would
Oh,
you rather have done? That or like have the Jake the Snake spot where you get the snake on you? I feel like the snake wouldn't bother you.
snake's not bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
See,
I
like me,
don't.
I that would be like I'd have to really think about it. I'd probably eat the worms.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's it's gross. It's very,
Yeah.
very, very
It's
gross.
not cool.
Yeah, I
Not
couldn't do
cool.
that, man. But yeah, again, a lot of indie wrestling going on all over the country now. It's good to see things are slowly coming back,
Yeah, I
and
heard Chicago's doing shows now.
yeah,
Where else did I hear was doing some shows? Yeah, I've been
I think
seeing.
Beyond is.
Yeah, and then I just got off the phone with the company in South Carolina that's trying to get me down there in South Carolina, which I'd be happy to go back down to South Carolina. I haven't been out in South Carolina in a long time, and it'd be good to wrestle back there. So they're trying to get me out there. I just gotta get on my social.
Yeah, get on it, get on it. Yeah, man, it's really cool to see things are slowing coming back, which gives me so much more hope for when we're in Waterloo in July. Because I've also heard that like with the arena down there got redone and stuff too. Like it's gonna be like way cooler this time around. Because like
Wow,
everything's been
everything
redone.
got redone.
The arena got
I
redone as
feel
well
like
as the
it's
hotel.
gonna feel weird. I feel like we're gonna be like, we kind of like the old place better. You
I
ever
don't
get
know,
like
dude.
that way?
I mean, yeah,
You don't
but
think so?
I don't know, man. It might be in a situation where it's like, oh my god, this is so nice. I'm so used to like dirty rooms and smelly floors and no
And really hot
AC.
skyways.
Yeah, no
Remember how
AC,
hot
and
that thing was?
yeah, dude, that thing, oh, so gross. So like, I don't know, man. I'm very excited. Someone involved told me that they feel very jealous of anybody who's going for the very first time this year because it's going to probably be the best. And they're like, the bar may get set really high for the newbies this year if they've never gone to this before. We're like, all of us have been there forever, so we're all gonna, like you said, part of us are gonna be like, oh, I kind of miss the crappy bar with no AC and bad bartenders, but this is really nice
They
too.
were bad bartenders. It was
It's
just
just
they were
not enough.
overwhelmed of people that
Not enough.
there's,
Yeah,
there's too many people and not enough.
they put one
There's only one
lovely lady back
bartender.
there.
Yeah, there was one lady back there, and she had like a
And
peg
there's like
leg,
and there's like 70 people in the bar with no AC.
and they're all screaming.
Oh, and everybody wanted drinks. But that's that weekend, man. Yeah. You speaking of heat though was at the state fair, the Florida State Fair. Am I correct? That's what this was, right?
Yeah, you gotta
So
hold on. Uno momento, my friend.
okay. I hope he brings a giant corn dog back on screen. That would just make this
No,
whole
I
next
am gonna
segment
bring
great.
a Redcon drink.
Oh,
Yes,
Raycon.
very, 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 very delicious. Haven't really ate much today. Uh, yeah, Florida State Fair was me and Red went there was absolutely amazing. Like probably one of the best times I've had in a long time because e- everybody was having a good time and there was like no negative vibes. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you could just totally tell that with everybody being there, everybody got along. Like everyone was like, "Oh, sorry." Like if they bumped into you, like you could just tell that it was like there was really good vibes. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that was the coolest thing is like me and Steph was just saying, it's like it felt good to see all the good vibes. We saw a dog show. We video vlogged the whole thing. So
That's awesome.
once I get some time to edit, I'm gonna edit up that thing. But
Hell yeah.
it was amazing.
So I want to ask you a couple questions about this because, like, up here in Minnesota, our state fair is a very, very big deal. They call it the Great Minnesota Get Together,
Hmm.
and literally every year they break records on attendances up there. So, like, it's a big deal up here. Um, so first of all, is this when it always happens in Florida? Is it this time of
No,
year?
it's normally during February, but they had to change it due to the COVID stuff. And
Okay, so this was actually postponed, and this is the makeup.
Yeah, and luckily they were able to actually do it because they didn't think they were going to be able to do it, but they were able to pull it off. And there wasn't that many people. A lot of the vendors were saying that I liked it because it wasn't that crowded, but
Right,
a lot
right.
of people were expecting more than what actually showed up.
Really? Okay. Nice. And so how hot was it though? Because you were telling me yesterday that like you guys were sweating it up out there.
Well, it's like right now, it's during the day, it probably got up to like 90, 92, and
Mm.
there wasn't any shade. So it was just
Oof.
beaming down. And me and Steph or would run in and we'd go into like AC buildings and sit in there and like get all cold and like get all ready. And then, there were shady spots, but like overall, when you're waiting in line for rides and like, getting food and stuff like that, you're out in the sun the whole time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So let's get into the rides. Like, would you go on? And then on top of that, like, what's your favorite ride like at the fairs? Like even like back to when you were a kid and if you went to them. Cause like, dude, for
Ferris
the
wheel.
is it? Dude,
Oh
for
yeah.
me, it was the Tilt-A-Whirl. That thing was my jam forever.
Which one is that?
It's the
Explain me.
one where you sit in the cart and it spins while the whole thing goes around too, though.
Oh,
And you
we
kind
did
of
one. So you don't really get dizzy because the thing is like
mm,
moving in like with the direction of like yeah, I did that. That was fun. But the Ferris wheel for me is always my favorite. Like
is it getting the view?
yeah, it's just the view and you get to see everything and it stops at the top and you just like look around and then you look how janky the thing is. You're like, oh my god, why am I on this thing? And it's like
Yeah.
and they had three of them, three different size
Oh
ones.
wow.
They had like one that was like really high and secure, and then they had one that was a little jankier, and then they had one that was really janky. And that one had like three bolts on it, and I was
Oh
like,
hell no.
no, I was like, Red, this could be trouble. I was like looking for escape routes if like we had to like dip out of that thing.
That thing goes nuts. You might have to pretend to bump out there just so you don't.
Yeah, and then I did a couple of little. They had a couple of little roller coasters, but
Okay.
the fair roller coasters beat me up
Yeah,
so
dude. They're rocky.
bad because they're not like Busch Gardens or
Mm.
what's another theme park, Disney World, where you're
Disney, you
like
got Universal out there.
yeah, where you're actually like strapped into the
Hmm.
thing, so like your body like you're just going really fast, you don't get hurt. But the ones at the fair, you're like what the damn, what the damn, slamming against the thing in and out. So yeah, those I could only do a couple. Red did way more rides than me because at the end I was like, I'm beat up, and I was like, I'm getting dizzy, and most of the ones left to do were like, oh, listen to this. We went on the most jankiest Halloween ride I have ever been on in my life.
Dude, they're
I
usually
mean,
pretty horrible
this
there.
was like they didn't even try.
Yeah.
I mean, this was so bad. So first, I'm like, ooh, scary ride. You want to go on? Steph's like, I don't know. It's kind of like I'm gonna get scared. I'm like, oh, it'll be fun. And I'm like, I should have just walked past it because as soon as I got in, I couldn't fit in the
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 little cart.
actual like cart. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is a bad sign. I'm like, I sure hope this ride's not long. And we get in, and she's like, oh, we do one corner, and this thing jumps up and goes, ah, and then it goes around another corner, and then out. And we're like, uh, really? Like that just happened? It was literally 5 seconds. And it was like, take one corner, boom, boom, out. And I was like,
Like that was the ride.
yes, it was.
That's so
I was like,
crazy.
why did I have to get in this thing and sit down? Like I could have just walked through this thing. It
That
was
is so
horrible,
crazy.
Ace.
And you live in, theme park, Cat and Becca basically. And down there they got Universal where they do like Halloween Horror Nights where it's like legit, scary houses. Like
Yeah,
so
that was like one of me and Red's first big dates.
it was Halloween Horror Nights? Hey
Yeah,
Tina.
went on a theme park.
Really?
Yeah.
So how I've never been to one in about always wanted to go to one. And I don't really generally like scary shit either, but I kind of
Um,
want to go.
it is probably one of the best times I've ever had. I love it. I would, and that was my first time going, and she got scared, but she's like, after a while, you don't get really scared because you're used to it, and then you're just like looking at all the cool stuff and the makeup and the designs and just everything that they put into it is just phenomenal. Like the detail and just it's incredible. And the guys running around with chainsaws and girls that are on
Nice.
stilts painted all crazy, blowing fire everywhere, and
Hell yeah.
just like it's really, really cool. And everyone's dressed and everyone's like, it's a really cool vibe. Like it's really cool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and I don't think they did it this last year, right? So like if they do it this year, it's going to be crazy cuz
Yeah,
making up for lost time.
it'll probably be like they did do Busch Gardens did one,
Okay.
um, but it'll probably just be limited, like how everything
Right.
is now. Like Volcano Bay and everything, they do a limited amount of tickets where you can only buy so many, and once that's done, they don't oversell, which is a good thing. So
Yeah.
it prevents overcrowding, which I kind of like in a way because before they never really cared about overcrowding, and a lot of times it would be overcrowded, like
Yeah.
where it was like, oh
Where you don't
man,
even want to be there.
yeah, and like now it's like crowded, but it's not. It's bearable. Like you
Right.
can actually like suffer through it. It's not like, oh my god, I'm sitting in line for 3 hours to ride a ride that's only 10 minutes long.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So let's get back to the fair because my next question. First of all, did you play any games? I'm always intrigued by the Carney games because I know they're fixed, but I always want to try to beat one.
No, I we just we will everyone. It was kind of a turn off because they kind of hustle you and yell at you,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and we just walk right past. If they were like friendly and been like, "Hey, dude, you guys," but it was too much of them yelling. So me and Red instantly put up like a shield. We're just like, "All right, you can't like, we don't even want to hear you because you're just saying like slick comments, and you know how those people are. They're like,
Oh yeah.
so I know,
Yeah.
I know,
Carney folk are a special kind of folk.
yeah, no disrespect to them, but I think they should have like a section where they don't yell at people and like just be like, "Hey, you want to try your luck?" And that's it. Don't like say, "Hey, big man," or "Hey, well, like, oh, I bet you're good at," It's just like, come on, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
plus, you walk by the same person like 30 times, and they say the same thing and they stare at you like, "Come on now, it's about time you like spend your money here," and you're just like, "Nope." So we just put on blinders and just
Hell yeah. I always wonder when I see people walking around with those animals from those things, like how much did you really spend though? Like how much did that take to get that? Probably wasn't worth how much you spent to win it.
Yeah,
Uh
the zoo was pretty cool. We got to feed, of course, the giraffe and zebras, and
they had giraffe and zebras and shit.
yeah, they had everything.
See, I'm up in the Midwest, so like we have animals, but it's like, cows, horses, pigs.
They had all that too. They had alligators, crocodiles. Of course, Florida, they had all that stuff. But they had llamas. They had camels where you could ride
Uh-huh.
a
Yep.
camel.
Yep. We get those.
Of course, they had the dog show, which was really cool. Trying to think of what other animals we saw. That's about it.
Did they have the motorcycle guys where they like ride in the cage thing around like the
They
top?
had that, and then they had the freestyle motocross guys too that were doing all the freestyle motocross stuff. They had
Nice.
that. They had the circus act. They had the trapeze act, which I
Nice.
thought was really cool. They had some comics. Uh, what other performers? They had a guy that was doing some fire stuff, but his stick was too long, so I
Mm.
didn't stick around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't want to
Because I
wait.
knew all he was going to do is this, like do
Right.
the fire, but it was taking him like 30 minutes to tell him his like backstory of like how he got into like fire eating, and I was like, me and Red look at each other, and we're like, do you really want to sit here and watch them eat fire, or should we just walk away? So we just moved on. So
Right. Once upon a time when I was a little guy eating fire. It's like, I don't give a shit,
yeah,
bro. Just do it. Just do it.
I don't need this backstory. But of course, ate all the junk food.
Yeah, let's get into it because fair food is like people don't mess around with fair food. That's like they hold their fair food near and dear. Up here, with no fairs happening over the summer, in the warmer months up here in Minnesota during the pandemic, there'd be fair stands just at get the mall out in the parking lot, just so people can get their fix of like cheese curds, funnel cakes, corn dogs, mini donuts. But let's go through what you guys ate, and then I want to hear what your favorite was, and I'm going to tell you a couple of my favorite all-time fair foods.
All right. I mean, this is what I remember. So we did corn dog, shish kebabs, cotton candy, pizza, barbecue sandwich, French fries. What else did we have? Funnel cake, hamburger. I know we had some more stuff. What else?
Excuse me.
I think that's about it.
Nice. What was your favorite? I know you said you didn't get the turkey leg, but you said you usually do.
Yes, I normally do, but I was so full by the end. Like by the time I was like, okay, it's turkey leg time, I was like, I'm too full. I can't do it. To be honest with you, what sticks out in my mind is a corn dog.
Okay, so my number one fair food all time is corn dogs.
Yeah, especially from there. It's just
something
about the batter and it just being fresh. Because I hate hot dogs.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, oh my God, like the corn dog. Like as soon as I had it, I was like, this is heaven.
Yeah, dude. I'm a corn dog guy. The cheese curds, because cheese curds are good everywhere, but they're never as good as they are when you get them at a fair stand. They're just not. Yeah. But they're greasy as shit, bro. Oh my God.
You don't have to suck it up with the napkin.
You got to on those.
Do with the funnel cakes and elephant ears.
Yeah, dude.
Soak up all that stuff.
Yeah, and then funnel cakes, dude. That's one of my favorites right there too, man. The funnel cakes, dude. And then I don't know if there are a lot of those stands in Florida, but up here there's a lot. Not a lot, but the few that were there, like I would always get one is a gyro. Mm-hmm. The gyros, because there's like
gyro,
yeah, because there's a Greek place, up here that
good Greek places here in Orlando, so we get those pretty frequently. Yeah.
See, back in the day when I was growing up, we didn't have any Greek restaurants. We had like one, and you didn't really go to it a whole lot. So like when the fair came, it's like, oh, dude, I love fair food. Like, so, I'm going up to the Mall of America tomorrow in the Twin Cities because I'm going up to a soccer game tomorrow night as well. We're gonna go hang out there for a little bit and check some stuff out. And I had just read that they, so it's the Minnesota United versus Austin FC, Austin, Texas, I guess. They're MLS.
Big. Yeah, Austin's crazy.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, man. This brand new stadium. It's like 3 years old in the Twin Cities for the soccer team, and I've been trying to get tickets every year. It's always hard. I spent 2 hours and was somehow able to get a pair of tickets to a game a couple weeks ago when they went on sale because they're very limited too. Like you can't just buy them. You had to be like either a season ticket holder, this club holder, or on their newsletter to get the pre-sale. And
how did you score them?
I'm on the newsletter, so I got the pre-sale code or the code to buy.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And like I said, 2 hours of trying, and I was finally able to get a pair of tickets. Dude, tickets would pop up, and I would click buy, and as soon as I clicked buy and it was supposed to go to the next screen, it would just pop up saying these tickets are already gone. Because they're just doing so many limited tickets, and they're always it's always people love the soccer team up here, and they always sell their games out, and the stadium's like amazing.
Probably getting really beautiful out there, so everyone's trying to get outside.
It was 60 all day today and sunny while I was out golfing. Tomorrow's supposed to be like sunny and 80.
Wow, perfect.
So it's gonna be the perfect night for a soccer game. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm a soccer dude. Like that was my athleticism growing up, bro. I played soccer my whole life. I coached it. Back in the day, then I got fat and couldn't run as fast. But back in the day, man, I was a good defender.
That's badass.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah, man.
cool.
Then I coached it for a while. I loved coaching it. I would love to actually get back into coaching soccer. I was
No
doing
way.
like youth
That's really
soccer.
cool.
Yeah, man. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But yeah, that'll be good though. It's cool to get that's again, it's cool to see events happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's just good to see people like being at SWE. Like we, they had a couple thousand people there. I mean, it was a big event, and they just put on a great show. And just seeing everyone so happy to be at a wrestling show, and just everyone smiling, and everyone just so happy just to be out. And I think everyone's just want to get outside and enjoy their events that like you're able to be outside and you can still social distance. You don't have to be around people like the fair. It's there's plenty of
Mm.
room outside. And the wrestling show, they did make it where if you didn't want to be, you could. There's plenty of room. I mean, this building that they were in was humongous. I mean,
I
it was
saw a
crazy.
picture, dude. It looked pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, they did a really good job. I mean, big. I mean, they had Mark Henry there. They had Teddy Long. They had the
Holla.
Bogeyman. I mean, just the talent that they had there was crazy.
That's
And
I actually almost rented the show on Fight like the day after. I was sitting at home and I was like, I should get this, but then I
yeah, it's
got
definitely worth.
distracted.
Dude, they're definitely a company definitely worth checking out, man.
Well, I
Charlie
neither.
Moss is there.
Yeah, yeah. The Haas man.
Kevin Sullivan. I got
Nice.
to do some commentary, which was really fun.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Have you done that before?
Um. To be honest with you, I don't think I have.
So how was it? Was it kind of intimidating? Was it cool? Were you able to just
Oh,
flow?
dude, it was easy. I had a blast. I loved it. I see. I think I've done it. Yeah, I've done it one. I've done it maybe two times. Two times.
Okay,
But I had a blast. It was fun. I could always do commentary. It was good.
that's
But
awesome.
I don't think I could do it for a whole show. Like that's a
Right?
lot of talking,
Yeah, 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 dude.
and
You
you
gotta have a lot. You
sit
gotta be
and
prepared.
talking on that. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, dude. I did that show last night with Shotgun Radio, and again, our friend Troy was on there from IPW, and he had mentioned that he might have me and Zach possibly do a little commentary next weekend at that 20th anniversary show. So I might pop up on some of their stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll see.
but you did radio, so you're good with that.
Yeah, I mean, I know I have the general idea. You know,
Yeah, I
I got the
wasn't
basics.
nervous. It was just like I couldn't imagine having to talk for the whole entire show and
If I
come
was,
up with like clever things to say about everybody.
yeah,
Because there's a lot of people. Like, I mean, I could do it, but after a while, I would be like, all right, I need someone else to pick me back up. Like,
yeah,
I'm slipping.
yeah. Well, if we do it though, and it's me and Zach, if we do any matches together and it's just us, I'm gonna be like totally like, hey, just go babyface. I'll play your heel, man. Like I
Oh,
can just
you want to go heel?
I can do the heel better.
So
Like
you
I
want to
could
go heel,
because
huh?
I can riff on that way easier than I can being babyface. You know what I mean? It's way easier
Yeah,
to riff when you're just fucking talking smack the whole time.
that's cool.
I want to do it. I want to do it for Matty Starr too because I love Matty Starr and I think he's a great heel in IPW.
Yeah, I want to hear this heel commentary. Hopefully, they put it on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. There's just some things that got thrown out, so we'll see what actually happens come next weekend. But it'll be fun. If not, I've always wanted to try it. You know,
Yeah.
I used to try to get in and do ring announce. I did ring announcing for boxing and MMA here, and
Commentary is so much better.
yeah, yeah, because you can actually be a personality. You're not just in the ring being
Yeah,
like,
and you have good personality. You have good swagger, so you fit perfectly into perfect commentary.
yeah. I want to try that, and then the only two other things that I've always wanted to kind of try in the world of wrestling. There it is. What's it? Recon? Raycon?
Redcon,
Raycon. Hell yeah.
the
Check them out.
MREs protein shakes.
Yummy. I need
Yeah,
to get some.
Redcon Red. They're a huge supplement company. They do protein shakes. They do pre-workout. They do BCAs. They do vitamins. They do testosterone boosters. They do pretty much everything you could think of. Redcon does, and they've been hooking up Red with some stuff, and
Nice.
think they're gonna start hooking up your boy with some stuff. So
Hell yeah.
that will be good. And then once you start getting back at it, we'll start
I
sending
need
you
it.
stuff.
I need it. Yeah. Yeah. So like that was and I need to start getting back at it because I want the next two things that I'd like to try to do. I'd like to be in a little better shape for. And I'd like to ref a match once, or maybe even just get into it. I'd like to try it. And I want to manage. I want to be Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, well, I've refed a couple times and I hated it.
Did you?
It's just too much getting up and down, up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
down,
Yeah. I
up and
suppose.
down, up and down. Like, oh, and like, I like if you were my ref, I would make you do it 100 times. Like
Fuck.
whenever there's guest referees, we always like play pranks on them. We're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna pin them a bunch of times just to see how many times the referee goes
Just
down.
over and over.
Yeah, like come on, like it's funny.
I'd be getting dizzy, dude. I'd get up being like, hey, hang on, wait a minute. You guys need to wait a second. Yeah, I've always wanted to try, and I've always wanted to be Bobby Heenan. So we'll see if that ever comes to fruition someday. Who knows? We'll find out. But yeah, man. Speaking of the world of wrestling, there's been a lot of things that have happened in the world of wrestling since we've last talked.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So there's been people who have been let go from WWE. There's been like
there's been a lot of people let go, right? There was like a whole.
You know what's crazy is literally a few weeks before that happened, and I know we know we've been gone for a few weeks. That's why we're talking about it now. You had asked on the show. You were like, "Where's been Bo lately?"
I know, and so sad he got released. Like, I almost felt bad. Like, was that karma? Like, for us saying that, I was like, no. Like, what? Like, did we like tell someone and someone listened in and were like, oh, we still have Bo? Like I felt so bad. I was like, I hope, but of course it wasn't us. I mean,
Right.
We only have our small hardcore group of listeners, so.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I want to know what you thought. One of them that I want to know what you think about, and that's because I feel like he may have been an impact when you were there still. Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, so his story was concussions, right?
I think it was, and he was saying that he was going to come back, but they were going to do it right, and when the time's right, they're not rushing it. So I guess I can get that, but like he was killing the commentary. I loved him on commentary on Raw. I don't know. It's just really, and he's a good guy to have backstage for the younger kids.
Yeah. And what, like, maybe he did. My thought is that they probably offered him something like that and he didn't want it. He still wanted ring time and he probably was like, I'm probably gonna go to AEW and I want to be champ. You know what I mean? Like I think he was like, I still have some stuff left in the tank and probably is not ready to take on that role right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only guess.
Yeah, because that was a big surprise, man. I love me some Samoa Joe. It didn't make sense. I don't know. It didn't make sense. Some of the other people, some of them made sense. Like Tucker was let go, and it's like they weren't doing anything with him. A few other people. I think the other ones that a lot of people were kind of like Mojo Rawley. Yep. The Iconics, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. I know fans were very upset over that one. I was too. My thing is they may have not been the best in ring, but I think they were good enough. But I think they were entertaining enough to keep their job, especially Billy Kay, because you have to have some sort of comic relief in a 2 to 3 hour show, I think. And she did a perfect job of that on SmackDown.
Yeah, some of the pranks that they used to do in NXT and stuff was funny.
Yeah, dude. So what Billy Kay did is she was Carmella's tag partner at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And her whole thing is she was giving her resume backstage to all these people trying to be like, I should be your partner. I should be your manager, blah, 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 blah. So when she was Carmella's partner for Mania, she didn't mock, but she mimicked Carmella's entire entrance, like the whole way to the ring. So like Carmella would be like doing her hair and you'd see Billy kind of see her and then be like, and do it. And it was the funniest goddamn. I laughed so
It's
hard
just
watching
the
her.
small. It's like the small little things.
Yeah, like there was a part where Carmella gets on like her hands and knees on the side apron to get into the ring,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and like Billy was sitting in the way, and she kind of had to stop and like looked at her, and then Billy had to like scoot back so they can both get on their hands. Like it was so just hilariously like snuck in. Like I was freaking out. I was laughing so hard because I was like, "This is brilliant." Because the whole thing is she was just desperate to have someone take her, and now she's just gonna be everything they are. Like it's hilarious. And then the next week she gets fired. And the rumor with her was that Mark Carrano didn't get it. He didn't understand why people thought she was funny. He didn't get her shtick. And the thing with that is, it's like, man.
Well, he got fired too.
So that's just it. That was what he said. And then like you hear the Mickey James thing with so I guess this is a thing
Why
that was
did he
happening.
do that?
Dude, there's a lot of stuff coming out on that guy now.
So fill me in.
So he said Mickey James gets all, because I guess all the girls backstage like have personal items and stuff in their own drawers backstage, because the guys just have their suitcase, whatever, but the girls keep stuff in the drawers.
Steph does the same thing. They have their own like little like locker where they can like store some of their like beauty stuff, so they don't have to carry a lot of their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they emptied hers into a trash bag and they just put it in a FedEx box and mailed it to her.
What?
And she opened it up and it just had her name, and it was a trash bag and like duct tape on
Are
it.
you kidding me?
Yeah. So she tweeted it and tagged Vince McMahon. And like a day later, Triple H and Stephanie were like, "Oh my God, we are so sorry."
No,
and
that's not how you do business.
Yeah, and they said they're like, we've removed the person responsible. Well, it was Mark Carrano.
Wow.
And then it turned out like Gail Kim was coming out saying like, yeah, when they let me go, that happened. I think Maria said the same thing when they let her go, that happened.
What? So this has happened to multiple girls?
Yeah. And then like Mark Carrano's like then Mark Carrano's like ex-wife came out and said he was like stealing title belts from them and like keeping them at his house to like display. And then someone else, God, who was it?
What? Are you kidding me?
Someone hinted at there may be some sexual allegations eventually coming out on that guy too.
Oh.
But then who was it? God, who came out and said that he kept them in constant fear of losing their job while they were there? Oh, who was it? Oh, he was with Titus O'Neil, I believe, right? In the Primetime Players.
Darren Young.
Yeah, I believe. I would have to double check.
Darren Young is awesome.
Yeah, I believe he's the one that came out and said that like when he was there, Carrano was like constantly like making it aware, like, hey, you can lose your job at any day.
Wow,
like,
that's one of my good friends.
If anybody's watching and they know, let us know if we're right, but I want to say it was him. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was him.
Well,
but yeah,
Primetime Players.
Yeah. So, man, it was just crazy, dude. The world of wrestling's crazy because like all that happened. There's a bunch of stuff going on online about the ROH dojo and how bad the training was over there with like Joey Mercury and some stuff and some shit that was going on there. And actually, it's Danny Cage is kind of the person who's bringing it all to light right now, out of the Monster Factory. He's
well, isn't Danny Cage also with WWE though too?
He does work with WWE at times. Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. So there's some, not good.
Yeah, he put it all out there on Twitter, man, and it's then Ian.
We won't say anything because we don't want to throw anybody on the bus without knowing the full facts. So if you guys want to check out his Twitter, you can, but we don't want to state anything that is.
It's a bunch of crazy stuff. And then Ian, whatever, Rickenbody or whatever from there also kind of got on there. I was like, yeah, that's pretty right. So, and it wasn't the ROH, it was like the school, the dojo, because they had brought him in.
Some of the people running the school.
Mm-hmm.
But crazy. What do you think about the RK Bro?
I don't mind it. I like
so polar opposites, huh?
They really are. But I feel like they aren't though. I feel like Orton, when no one's around, is like, "What's up, bro?" You know what I mean?
I think so too.
But I like it though. It's fun because the thing is, Riddle was just so they are just so dancing around the fact that he's a pothead without just saying he's a pothead that it's almost painful because it's just when they do these things
Why
where
do
he's
you
like,
think they're so scared of saying that when the world in this day and age, half of it's legal in most states, some countries it's fully legal, like
I
police
think it's just because they still test for
sponsorship.
it. Yeah, I think it's because it's a PG product. They still test for it, so they don't want their guys on drugs.
Yeah,
Where you see now there's professional sports that are embracing it and being like, yeah, you guys can use this as an alternative for CTE and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, CBD is awesome. So
Hmm.
like, but I don't. I think you can still fail a test even if you use CBD.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I think
Um,
so. I
yeah,
don't know.
possibly,
I'm not positive. So.
possibly. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't just, but I do like it's made me more interested in Riddle now seeing, and because don't get me wrong, Riddle's like awesome. He's a great athlete. I do enjoy what he can do in the ring, and what I like too is he can like, he can roll around the ring.
Yeah, he's so talented, and he's one of my favorite guys to watch because he's always coming up with new creative stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get stale. I just, for me, it gets a little over the top. The broness of the whole
Yeah.
thing is sometimes for me it takes away a little bit from how good he is in the ring and stuff like that. For me, I'm like, oh, I wish he wouldn't do it as much, but WWE is huge, so maybe
Right.
that's what does it say?
What's the wellness policy about marijuana when you can get a medical card in the industry? Yeah, I don't. I mean, I just know WWE still tests for it. I don't know what the other companies are doing. I feel like some of them are more laxed about it. I want to say I've heard JR talk about it for AEW, and he's just kind of like, yeah,
Well,
it's
as long
cool.
as you have, I think probably if you have, as long as you have a medical card, I don't see anything.
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
should be
Well,
fine.
same with WWE. I think if you have a medical card, I don't see why that would have any issue because it's medical. It's not
Hmm.
like and you would think they much rather have their wrestlers on something that's from the doctor than some painkillers. But
Yeah, I think you're right, and maybe it is now because I haven't heard anybody really get suspended for drug stuff lately. So maybe you're right, and maybe they're kind of just
what's
laxed on
crazy?
it too.
In this day, you really haven't heard in much of any more drug suspensions and stuff. Like you remember back in the day, it was
Oh, it's
like
all the
left
time.
and right. It was constantly guys getting suspended for
Yeah.
this, for that, for you remember how at
Hmm.
one time it was pretty bad. People were and they were publicly saying, and a lot of people were getting suspended. I mean,
Yeah, it was nuts, dude. It was like every like other month you'd hear like a round of like 2 to 5 guys. It's like, oh, they failed their test. They're gonna be out for 30 days. It is
yeah.
crazy, man. But yeah, I don't know. I get plus the let's just be honest here. I mean, Riddle's a pothead. Like you can't come on. Let's just be
Yeah,
honest here. Let's
I
call it
don't
a call it.
think he hides it. I mean,
Dude's got a mushroom tattoo on his freaking rib.
I don't think, and the reason why he couldn't fight in the UFC is because he or let's see, did he have one fight in it?
He had a few, I think, in UFC. He
Well,
was doing good in UFC. He left on his own because
oh,
he was
he was a champ and he got the title taken away from him.
yeah, something about it. He
I
he
think
left on like bad terms. Like he was
no, he
kind of
left
like,
because he failed for weed.
oh, did he? I knew he left, but
Yeah, it was because he failed for weed. He popped for weed,
did
and
he?
they took the title from him, and he made some huge thing and dissed Dana White and got on some high rant and said some stuff that he probably shouldn't have said.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's gotten himself into some trouble too, because I mean, he was one of the people that had quite a few. Well, not quite a few, but like at least one girl had quite a few different stories about him when all that speaking out stuff came out. So, but yeah, I like Arcade Bro though, man. Anything with Orton kind of getting out of the comfort zone of what we know as the Legend Killer, I'm always down for.
Yeah, me too. I just think it's something fresh and new, and I think as long as we can have, because, dude, Orton's probably one of the best there is in the ring, and if you
Hmm.
can make him have fun and get some good stuff out of him, like I love watching his matches. His matches are some of my favorite matches in the world. Like I
Yeah,
like Orton.
yeah, dude. Yeah, he's got probably top talent in WWE at the moment.
I
I'd
mean,
say.
dude. I mean, just poise and just timing. And I mean, if you want to have a great match, you get in the ring with that guy, and it's gonna be fireworks.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, and then man, what else has been going on? We got Blood and Guts coming up this week in AEW, so that's the Inner Circle and Pinnacle in the War Games match. They can't call it War Games because WWE gets that.
Yeah, don't they own the rights to that?
Yeah, and they do it on NXT, which NXT, by the way, has been really good lately, guys. If you're not watching it, watch it. They moved the Tuesday nights, definitely worth watching. To be honest, all around product as far as the in-ring talent, the storytelling, the characters and everything. I think NXT is the best wrestling show right now. I really do. I'm really into what they're doing right now. They need to get rid of a few people that are over there hanging out in that locker room, but yeah, they're doing really good, man. I enjoy it. But this Blood and Guts match will be cool to see because NXT War Game matches are great. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see any of them, Wes, but like they're really good. They do a great job with the War Game match.
I heard one of them wasn't that good, but
This last year was not the best year.
Some of them good. So
yeah, this last year's wasn't the best. I think the women's were better this last year, but overall it just wasn't as good as the few years before. But overall, still great. But man, you got Jericho in this thing with your boy Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana and Ortiz, and then you got the Pinnacle, which is MJF, Sean Spears, FTR Dex, and Hardwood, or I can't remember his name.
Are they doing it where the rings are right next to each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 2 rings, 1 cage.
See, I did it where there was no cage, but 2 rings right next to each other.
When did you do that?
Down in Miami a long time ago, and it was one of the most sketchiest matches I've ever had in my life.
What goes into the planning of that kind of match? Because I mean, again, you got a lot of different working parts. Oh wow,
it was chaos, and people were trying to throw, like, some people got some planning and did some spots where you saw like guys try to throw each other across and didn't make it, and like
no.
It was bad. I remember just laying in the corner and just watching people just miserably get hurt.
Oh shit. So did they do it how they do War Games too, where like 2 guys start, countdown goes, 1 guy from another team enters, countdown?
Dude, I don't even remember because they did it as a tag team war.
Oh wow, okay, crazy.
So it didn't even make sense in that aspect. So it was, I don't even remember. It was so much of a chaos that I just remember that I was like ready to just get out of that match.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see this match though, man. I think it's going to be a lot of hard hits. They're talking a lot of blood. We'll see what happens. Blood and I'm still indifferent on how I feel with AEW's how they do this, because they do like their 4 pay-per-views a year, and then every couple months they just do one of these big dynamites. And I'm still indifferent on how I feel, because I almost feel like maybe just add like 2 more pay-per-views to your year and do them like every 3 months or something. You can not have to do these. I don't know. They just have so much stuff going on because they are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Crazy.
It's a lot. It's hard to keep up with all of it. I can't even anymore. Now that indie shows are going too, I'm starting to watch that stuff more.
It's good. There's so much wrestling going on. It's good.
It's insane, man. Well, what do you got going on the rest of the week and weekend? Anything people should be looking out for? Chilling.
When I pick up Red from the airport, she'll have a puppy, Capacito. So look out for him. He'll be blowing it up.
A new little Brisco in the fam.
He'll be. It's Capacito _. There's no profile yet, but I already got that name locked down, so you guys can't go steal it. But yeah, it's gonna be cool having a little 6-week-old puppy.
When's the last time you had a dog? Like you living with you?
A long time, man.
Oh man, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. You're gonna be like, I missed this so much.
I know. Next podcast we'll have Garrett Bischoff and Capacito the puppy.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be a sick show. So, yeah, we're going to aim for that. Watch for it next week. Watch for more details from us on our social media. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Brisco and Big Ace Show. YouTube, subscribe. All of our exclusive content will still be on our Brisco and Big Ace Show YouTube. So our vlogs, any special events that we do, everything like that's still going to be on there. You will eventually see these show episodes, though, eventually move to the VOC YouTube. You'll find the episodes there, but again, everything else will still be on that Brisco Big Ace Show. So subscribe to it, like it, share it, all that wonderful stuff. Check out everything we got going on there. And yeah, again, watch for our next episode. It's gonna be Gary Bischoff, me, Wes, and what's the dog?
Capacito.
Capacito.
Mhm.
Am I saying it right? Capacito.
Capacito.
I knew it was Sita. I couldn't remember what was before it. So Capacito. That's gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait. So yeah, we will bring that to you next week sometime, guys. So make sure you watch for that. As always, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I know I'm gonna have some fun this weekend. I deserve it after the week I've had. Everybody, enjoy yourselves. Be good. Love everybody, and we'll see you guys next week.